Blake Bolden, Franklin P. Johnson, director of the Drake Relays. Man, today's been really special for me. Excuse me as I get that out of the way. Really special day here with the Drake Relays. Certainly, we wish we were all in the Blue Oval with a terrific Friday night at the Relays, getting ready for another sellout crowd on a Saturday. But if there was another way to spend a Friday night, it certainly is talking with the likes of Sam Kendricks, Devin Allen, Kenny Harrison, Shelby Houlihan, Carissa Schweitzer. What a night so far. And what we're thrilled to end. And really, it's a special treat for us to end the night with our second world record holder. Not past world record holder. This is the current world record holder. This is the fastest man in the world right now for 110 hurdles. It's a special treat to welcome Aries Merritt. He'll be on in a moment. I just texted with him. But I do want to remind all of our fans that the Instagram Lives, not just with Aries, but with Shelby, Carissa, all others with Drake Relays this weekend are presented by Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling. They're proud to support local communities in which they live, work, and play. So I think actually, and let me see, I might have, I appreciate everybody's patience here. Sometimes it takes me a minute to figure it out. Aries, I see you there. Send me a request to join. I'm going to try and grab you here, buddy. Appreciate everybody's patience as I bring Aries on real quick. Oh, man. See, I did that again. You know what? Aries, why don't you hit that request button, I think. Maybe that might help me out. I don't know if I'm waving at you. Dang it. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and do that recap of the day as I try and figure this out. And Aries, if you can hit that request button. I appreciate everyone's patience as I get that sorted out. But tomorrow, actually, even since I just spoke with Shelby and Carissa, have already confirmed Heather Camp is going to join us at 5:30. The queen of the road mile. I'm a huge fan of hers. She's really made her mark on the Drake Relays, not only as an undergraduate at Minnesota, but on the roads at the Grand Blue Mile as a multiple-time winner there. So again, that Ryan Krauser will kick us off at 1:30 in the afternoon, which is almost literally when he should be throwing the shot put in a sold-out Drake Stadium. Drake Relays legend Bershawn Batman Jackson will join us at 3:30. 4:30 will be another 400 hurdler, Georgianne Moline, a multiple-time Drake Relays champion. Sandy Morris will join at 5. Heather Camp will join at 5:30, and Ashley Spencer at 6. We have a few more tentative. We'll still be making those announcements with some. You know what? I see it maybe. Hey, actually, I'm sorry, Aries. I saw it earlier. Let's see if I can get it to go. Dang it. I don't know why it's not letting me, man. It's telling me that Aries is unable to join, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong or what might be the technical issue. Oh, here it is. Thank you all for your patience. I'll take the blame for this. I've had some circumstances.
Can you see me now?
Man, I'm sorry. You've been on here for 4 minutes waiting very patiently for me to act. I could not figure out how to do it, and I don't know why. So, apologies.
Oh, it's all right. It's all good.
I've been all day. Maybe I've lost my mind. Maybe it's time for me to go to bed. Listen, I was hyping you up a little bit. I didn't even get to all your accolades. I didn't even get into anything. I just calling you the fastest hurdler in the world. What I say to just for everyone knows right off the bat, you are incredible. You unimaginable, and I mean that very sincerely. I don't know how you've done what you've done in your athletic career and your personal life. Blows my mind. Coming back from very serious health concerns. I don't want to make too much of that. I'd open it up about it. It really personally, every time I hear your story, it touches me and makes me sentimental. And I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't want to lose my cool. But it means a lot because not only have you been the fastest man in the world and then faced your own mortality and real serious challenges. But then you came back and you came back to a world class level. You come to the Drake Relays and you've run alongside and beat some of the world's best athletes in your event. So, man, I admire you. I really appreciate you making time on a Friday night to come celebrate and commemorate the Drake Relays with us. Thank you, Aries. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. You know, I'm glad to be with you right now. Where are you in the world right now?
Well, I'm in Phoenix.
Okay. How's life? How's your day-to-day looking right now?
My day is good. It's starting to get over 100 degrees here, and so it's really hot. So I'm trying to stay inside. I'm still trying to social distance and keep away from people because I'm immune suppressed. But other than that, I'm doing pretty well.
Good. Are you still able to do some training right now?
Yeah, I do a little bit of training. I'm training 3 times a week. I don't train every day because we're so uncertain with what's going on. We don't know if we're going to have a season this year or not. It's looking like we're not going to have a season. A lot of things have been canceled. As you know, the Olympics have been canceled. Europeans just got canceled yesterday. And so it's looking like we're not going to have a season until like maybe late August, September.
Yep.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think, looking at, I mean, we don't need to get too heavy about all that, but when we look at what Sebastian Coe is saying, it's certainly looking more like September and October might be the most realistic time. So you've got someone with your experience, skill set, you've got the ability to really, you got a runway here, so you'll be okay. But you're healthy, everything's okay?
Yep, very healthy. I was very ready this year. As you know, this is my final Olympic Games. That I'll be way too old to do another Olympics. So after 2021, that'll be my final Olympics, and then I might stick around for the World Championships. Probably will because it's at home. But after that, I'm definitely gonna retire. So that'll be the end of my story as an athlete.
It will. I didn't even think we would get into that tonight in terms of talking about the next things in life. But what do you think? What's in mind, or what do you have in mind for after you finish your running career?
I'll probably end up coaching because I love to coach and I love to give back to the sport that's been so gracious to me. So I definitely want to dabble in that. Maybe do some motivational speaking here and there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got some good Aries Merritt stories, and I
sure.
But first, I'm going to ask you on the spot. I'm going to put you in the hot seat because this is what we're doing. We're really, I'm saddened. I wish we could be hosting you right now. I wish you were in your hotel room at the Marriott getting ready for the special invite men's 110 hurdles tomorrow. And I'll tell you what, I can say this for sure. Our friends at the Marriott wish you were there too. Wishes we had you in our town right now. But what knowing that you've come to Des Moines so much, you made yourself available as the world record holder to the media so frequently, and while you have made this truly miraculous comeback, and you've been open and talking about it, what are some of your favorite memories from Drake Stadium? Maybe a U.S. championship, but at the Drake Relays particularly. That's special to my heart.
I mean, Drake has always been around for many, many years. And my favorite Drake Relays moment was when I was a part of a group of men that broke the world record in the shuttle hurdle relay. That was my favorite moment at Drake so far. And at the Drake Stadium, making the world team from Moscow was one of my favorite moments because I was so injured that year. After I broke the world record in 2012 and had that great year, that dream year, so to speak, the next year I was plagued by injury, and later that year my kidneys ended up failing. But I went to the Drake Stadium, and I'd only run like 13:20, windy. It wasn't even legal, and I was panicking because I had pulled my hamstring 3 times. I pulled it in indoor, so I canceled my indoor campaign, and then I'd gone to U.S. championships literally off of my hamstring being pulled. I flew from Germany straight to Drake pretty much, and I just competed and made the team. So I had no training. It was awful, and I was just so panicked, but we were able to get it done.
Yeah, well, and so people know 13:20 was your point coming off of injury in 2013 after a year where the year before in September, Brussels, you set the world record 12.80, an incredible performance. So by most people's standard, when they hear 13.20, they're that's fast.
Yeah.
Merritt says that 13.20 is like, oh boy, I got work to do. So, but incredible memory. And I noticed, again, do you have a question? Are you retired? Are you still running? Thanks for the question. You joined just a couple minutes late. Aries did talk about that. Aries shared that he does intend to go through the Olympics next year. And at that point, he'll reassess where he is and possibly even in 2022. And Aries, I'm sorry if my dogs are barking.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
For a walk, man. They're cooped up here. They're done commemorating the Drake relays. You know, they're ready to go walk. But thanks for your patience. And then I noticed this wonderful comment here. Says Aries, you're idol. I don't know exactly, but you're certainly one of my heroes on a lot of them. I got a story, so I'm going to embarrass you with one. One of my favorite Drake relays. I shared this yesterday. Hold on, I gotta close this door and tell these dogs. I gotta tell these dogs to leave me and Aries alone. Hey, I'm on the phone with Aries. Get out of here. Sorry, everybody. They're looking at the door. Here, listen. I got. You remember this?
Oh yeah.
So that I gotta tell everybody that knows. Aries is a very humble man. He's wonderful. That's the me. 5 years earlier at the Diamond League finale in 2012, he set the world record. 5 years later, in September 1st, 2017, the Memorial Van Dam, the Diamond League finale in Brussels, they inducted Aries Merritt into their Hall of Fame. One of my very special memories is I got to be there. I got to see you go into the Hall of Fame at one of the biggest, most famous meets in the entire world and hear you speak. And then I saw you walk off. And I don't know if you remember this, but one of my good friends, one of our Drake Relays supporters, he's on our Relays committee, Dennis Young. He was there with me. And I know you had probably met Dennis. And if you saw him in Des Moines, you probably remember him. But I didn't tell you we were going to be in Brussels. You had no idea. But we were at this dinner, and he just said, Aries, how you doing? And you greeted Denny like long lost family. And this is how big of a class act you are. You've just been inducted to the Hall of Fame. My friend greeted you, and you turned to me and you recognized me immediately. You knew me. I was in a suit. You were dressed well. You said, hey, Blake, will you take our picture? And you handed me your phone. I probably don't even remember this. But that is, so anybody who's watching right now, that is world record holder is. He knew because he knew that would mean, and then you texted it to me. You knew that would mean not just to me and to Denny, but that's who you are, Aries. That was really something special. So thank you for that. You probably don't even remember that, but
I do remember that. I remember because we were in that gallery in the hotel. Yeah, everybody was dressed up. I had to go up in. They did something at that thing that they had messed up, like some stat, and it wasn't that big a deal, but they were so upset that they had messed it up. But it wasn't that big a deal to me. I didn't mind.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So I asked, and this was, I want to encourage Aries fans to ask some questions. I mean, there's a few good comments here. There's a lot of really positive comments. You're getting a lot of love there. But the question that got asked yesterday, started asking some of world-class athletes like you, what is what is your favorite track, your favorite meet outside? And we're going to exclude the Drake relays. Other than
outside of the Drake relays, that's a really, really tough question because I go to so many great venues to run, such beautiful places I've been able to travel over the course of my career. And, it's hard for me to answer that because there's so many great places, but I really, really love London, running in the Olympic Stadium where I won the Olympic gold. And I like running in Brussels, obviously. But, London is just so nice because it's so central and you can get anywhere from the UK. They speak English, fluent. The food that you can get is just hands down some of the best you can get in the world. And I just really like the United Kingdom, or not United Kingdom, but it is United Kingdom. But I really like the Diamond League at the London Diamond League. It's really nice.
Yeah. Well,
And the track is really fast too.
This is, this is a day, and I'm really disappointed that we can't have the Drake relays. Let me just be clear. But this is a day I always, because earlier today I got to talk to Kenny Harrison, the other hurdle. And you guys have so much in common that you both have terrific smiles. Some of your fans are saying that, and then you're both very understated and very modest, very humble. And so I asked her the same question, and she said London. Then I'm trying to.
Of course she did. Of course she did.
I didn't say anything, and I think it was maybe Jenna, or another. I'm not going to throw anybody out there, but another elite athlete just said, "Why London?" And I knew, Kenny knew, and Kenny wasn't going to say anything, so I just pinned it and said, "Hey, do you see that question there?" And she just laughs, and she can't get her to talk about herself at all. So anyway,
yeah.
You're similar. I can at least get you to laugh a little bit.
I'm always laughing. That's like my thing.
Who's your Uncle Marvin? You see that comment that I pinned?
Yeah, that's my uncle. He's been there. He was there for me when I was growing up. I grew up in a little apartment in Georgia, and he was there for me when I grew up. He's always been there, always been supportive. Yeah.
That's great. Well, welcome, Uncle Marvin. Thanks for joining us tonight. I see that it's 215.j college running track now, my inspiration, man. So and really, you've been an inspiration and an idol, and that's like the third or fourth person to say. That's pretty. Let me pin this question. What's your favorite meal before your event day? So that night in Brussels, I don't remember what they served, but I imagine if you've been all over the world, almost every continent, every country that has a big race, you've run it. What is it that is your favorite meal, and then how do you balance those nutritional needs while you're traveling?
Well, at the Diamond Leagues, we're served a buffet, and at the buffet they always have like 3 different meats. So they'll have fish, chicken, or beef. I think sometimes they'll have pork, but a lot of people don't eat pork, so they don't have it most of the time. They'll always have a salad bar, some kind of veg, some bread, butter, whatever you need, they pretty much have. These meats they spare no expense. So you're always eating really, really good food, and it's up to you as the athlete to make sure that you eat healthy and that you watch your portions. But I'll typically have some kind of lean meat. I'll have some veg and a starch all the time. It's always the same. And I always try to make sure I don't overeat so I'm not stuffed the next day, because I have to get up for my morning shakeout. And then I have to start prepping for my competition. So it's always lean meat, veg, and a starch every time.
Yeah. Well,
and when I'm in the States, it's like pasta because, I'm carb loading a little bit, but not so much lately. I've been kind of watching what I eat as I've gotten older. It's really, really hard to maintain a certain body weight because, your metabolism slows down. So you have to really watch what you're eating at all times. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember, you met her, the assistant athletic director for relays operations here at Drake. She sends a special message. I'm so glad you're healthy and competing since your surgery. I mean, she, like me, there's so many here in Des Moines that really admire your connect and all that you do. But it looks to me like not only is an uncle on the call or on the Instagram, looks like an aunt. Is that?
Yeah, my aunt Vanessa. I see her. I see her. Yeah.
It's great. And then, so here's a question. And again, I do want to make sure everybody's aware. Aries is super generous with his time, very kind. But I did promise in 15 minutes. It did take me 4 or 5 minutes to figure out how to get him on here. So he's being extra generous. There's 2 good questions here. I'm going to do those and then maybe one more. So one more from me, if that's all right with everybody. But so Train_Ryan wants to know, what is your favorite workout?
My favorite workout is, we have this workout it's our patented hurdle workout that we always do every year. And it really tests me to see if I'm ready. And when I can run every rep relatively the same speed, even late into the year, like deep hurdles, it's 12 hurdles. And the workout is 8, 10, 12, 10. So 8 hurdles, 10 hurdles, 12 hurdles, and then 10 hurdles again after 12. And it's There's about 5 to 6 minutes rest in between each rep. And if I can run every one of those reps in sub 13, every single one with 5 minutes rest, that's how I know I'm ready to run sub 13.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So that's how I know I'm ready. And it's a really brutal workout because either you're going to be ready or not. And most of the time, the first time I do that workout, I always throw up every single time. We go over 12 hurdles, I'm puking. As soon as 12 is finished, I'm puking at the line. As soon as I cross the 12th hurdle, I'm in the grass somewhere. And then I come back 5 to 6 minutes later and run 10 after puking because I just have to get the work in. So, yeah, it's really awful. But it's a good workout.
I'll tell you this. For hurdles, well, they tried to turn me to a steeplechaser when I was in college.
I don't know how Emma does it. I really don't know how she does it.
But I'm want to puke. I know how. Actually, a quick question. There's here. It says, "Hi, I'm a hurdler. Do you have any tips?" So maybe someone who's new to hurdling. Do you have any tips for somebody, maybe technical or just getting over those first hurdles as a young athlete in the sport?
Yeah, depending on your level, I would definitely stick with 8 steps for now until you mature as an athlete, and then you can switch to 7 steps if you feel comfortable with that. But I would always tell a person that's beginning hurdling that they should definitely keep at it because it's one of those events where the more you do it, the more fluid you become, the easier it is to clear the barrier, the more confidence you gain, and the better the rhythm. So just keep at it. Like I didn't always start off, running 12.80. I had to work at that, and it took many, 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 many years to get to that level. And it's all because I never stopped. I just continued to hone my craft. I continued to look at others and study greats that came before me. And it's just something that you have to do as an athlete, period, especially as a hurdler, because our race is so rhythmic and it's so technical. And so it's just one of the things that you should definitely do is, just keep at it and study your competitors, study your idols, study everybody, because you never know who you're going to be racing against.
When you just said study your idols, everyone said, okay, we're going to start studying Aries. Everybody that's on the call is studying now. Here's a good question, though, and this is a very serious one, but I think it's actually really meaningful that I know some people will want to hear. Has your training or workouts changed since you're the person who asked this question, pharmacist, and they have huge respect for you since learning about your transplant?
Yeah, my workouts, after my transplant, immediately, my workouts were very remedial. I couldn't lift for a while because I didn't want to rip my suture. and so I couldn't really lift anything over 10 pounds for about 8 months after the transplant. And I still tried to make the Olympic team. Weak. It was bad, but I almost made it. But it was just really trying because even on the side where my trail leg would pull through, it wouldn't pull through properly. And I was clipping hurdles a lot of the time, hitting them. And my everything was just off because I wasn't able to move my leg proper. But the very next year, I was able to actually put in a lot more volume than I put in the previous year, obviously, because I can lift weights and I can go back to doing things that I was used to doing. But I will say that as I've gotten older, my workouts have shifted. Not so much volume as I'd had before early in my career, because at this point in my career, I pretty much know what I need and know how to run fast when I need to. And so it's more quality instead of quantity.
I started.
So that's how it's changed.
We've made a lot of it in Des Moines, in the media, and everywhere you go. Such an incredible story that people have a hard time comprehending. But if you're just joining us, I'm Blake Bolden, the director of the Drake Relays. I'm here with the world record holder in the 110 hurdles, a kidney transplant survivor, and not just this guy's not a survivor. He just told us the most humble way possible in 15 seconds what it's like to go through trying to qualify for the Olympics after not being able to lift 10 pounds for 8 months. Then later, I'm watching him inducted into a Hall of Fame in the Diamond League. this is what embodies so much what's right with the sport and what's right with the world. Is someone like you, Aries, who's a world record holder, been to the edge of their mortality, and then sits here and just talks about it like it's a matter of fact, like part of the day. So I know how much it means to me personally. I know we've had some wonderful comments. So many folks here that are inspired and admire you. My last question that I want to during this time, whether it's for athletes or for just fans, while we're here at homes and we wish we could be watching you compete, what advice or what do you have any parting words or suggestions, maybe some inspiration you could provide to us? And I know you're one that does it by doing, not by telling. But is there anything that you can share with us here tonight before we end our day?
Yeah, definitely something that I live by is never give up your dream or your aspiration on something that you want to do, because I mean, if I would have given up after my kidney transplant, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. I wouldn't have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't have made the world team again and again and again, and etc. And you just have to stay focused and always just stay true to yourself, and always just focus on what you need to do to be a better person, whether that's studying, whether that's, putting in the extra work, whatever you need to do to be the best you can be.
That's all. Now listen,
that's what you should do.
I told you that was the last. That hit me. That's good. That's good because it really speaks to who you are. And I've never